beautiful sunrise over the Potomac in Washington as we come up on the bottom of the hour. It is primary day in the state of Wyoming, where incumbent Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney is facing a number of challengers, including Trump-endorsed contender Harriet Hageman. Recent polling shows Cheney trailing Hageman by nearly 30 points. Cheney lost her position in House Republican leadership, and the Wyoming Republican Party voted to censure her for speaking out against former President Trump and for joining the House January 6th committee as its vice chair. Cheney has said again and again her top priority is to stop Trump from ever winning the presidency again, describing him as a threat to American democracy. Joining us now at the big board, national political correspondent for NBC News and MSNBC, Steve Kornacki. Steve, good morning. A big day in Wyoming and Alaska we'll talk about in just a moment. This polling has been a little spotty in Wyoming, but suffice it to say a big lead for Hageman over Cheney as we go into voting today.
Yeah, the polling certainly hasn't been encouraging for Liz Cheney. You take a look at the matchup, there actually is going to be a third candidate on the ballot here, but it's Hageman who's gotten the endorsement of Donald Trump, who's been leading, as you say, in the polling that's out there, leading by lopsided margins over Liz Cheney. You got the dynamics here in Wyoming and in the polling, and then you've got the broader context for this. You mentioned 10 Republican members of Congress, of the House, I should say, in the wake of January 6th, voted to impeach Donald Trump. And of those 10, Cheney was the most prominent, and she has been the most persistent in her criticisms and attacks on Donald Trump. And just take a look here. This is the track record of those 10, what's happened to them politically in 2022 after casting those impeachment votes. And you can see here a number of them chose just not to run for re-election this year. And then you've got you had Tom Rice in South Carolina. He was crushed in his primary. Peter Meijer, we saw recently, lost in Michigan. Jamie Herrera Butler lost in Washington State. You did have two who survived primaries. I think notable, though, here, David Valadao in California. It's one of those top two primaries, all the candidates from all the different parties on the same ballot, top two advance. And Donald Trump did not make any endorsement in this primary. He stayed away, and Valadao got through to the second round of voting. And Dan Newhouse in Washington State, Donald Trump did endorse a challenger of Dan Newhouse, but again, it was one of those top two primaries. It was a very crowded field, a lot of different Trump-aligned candidates. Newhouse got through. He got through with about 25% of the vote. So here's Liz Cheney. From the Trump standpoint, this is much more what he's looking for when he has candidates, when he's backing candidates against other Republicans. It's more of a clean one-on-one matchup. Again, there is a third candidate here. He's barely registering. So Trump's kind of getting that one-on-one matchup with Cheney. And the polling certainly is suggesting that Cheney is poised to join the company of those other Republicans who've been defeated in primaries.
You know, Mika, in this primary season of shape-shifting Republican candidates who are trying to become as closely aligned with Donald Trump as they can be, even though they have no history of it, dating back to a month or so ago. Liz Cheney's closing ad is who she's always been for the last couple of years. And she's saying, take me or leave me. This is the truth. This is who Donald Trump is. This is what I think he's done to the country. This is what I think he may still do to the country. And she's willing perhaps to lose by 20 or more points to make that stand.
Of course she is. And we'll be watching this and then see what happens next for her if she does indeed lose that election, which it appears she will. Voters in Alaska today will use the ranked choice voting system for the first time. I find this fascinating. This means all candidates will compete on the same ballot, and the top four vote getters, regardless of party affiliation, will move on to the final election in November. One of the most watched races, of course, will be the Senate primary. Incumbent Senator Lisa Murkowski was one of 7 Republican senators who voted to impeach former President Trump after January 6th. I believe that was his second impeachment trial. She was the only one with the re-election bid this year and has become a top target for Trump, who has backed challenger Kelly Tshibaka. Both are expected to advance to the final November election, along with Democrat Pat Chesbrough. Meanwhile, in a House special election, 4 candidates are running to finish the rest of Congressman Don Young's term. The lawmaker died earlier this year. Former vice presidential candidate and governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin, finished first in the special election's June primary. She has the endorsement of the former president. At the same time as the special election, voters will choose candidates for the House primary. All candidates in the special election are also on that ballot. So, Steve, play out Alaska for us and how it looks for Sarah Palin, but also for the Senate candidates.
Yeah, this one, this House special election in Alaska tonight, I think is where the real suspense is, and that suspense will sort of spill over into the early morning hours and I think potentially the next couple of weeks. Because remember, as you say, this is going to be decided ultimately by ranked choice voting. So what you're seeing here are the results from the preliminary. And again, what they do in this ranked choice system in Alaska, they all, Democrat, Republican, they run on the same ballot, and then the top four advance. So initially in this House special election, you had the top four candidates. There was a fourth candidate who you don't see on the screen named Al Gross, who also advanced. He was sort of aligned with the Democrats. Gross dropped out of the race, got his name off the ballot. So there are going to be three names on the runoff ballot here for this special election today in Alaska. And voters, what they're doing is they're ranking them: my first choice, my second choice, my third choice. Here's what the expectation is for how this is going to play out with only three candidates on this ballot. There's one Democrat, Mary Peltola. You see her right there. Only got 10% in the preliminary, but presumably she's going to pretty much monopolize the Democratic vote today. So if you take that, Peltola may very well finish in first place in the initial count. And then that's going to create some suspense here. Palin or Nick Begich, which of these, they're both Republicans, which of these finishes second? That's a crucial question, because in the ranked choice system, they'll do 1, 2, 3. Whoever finishes third will be eliminated on the spot, and then their supporters' second choice will get reallocated. So we've seen some polling in this race that suggested, again, that Peltola, just by monopolizing the Democratic vote, is primed to finish in first place today, but that Palin and Begich are in a neck-and-neck race potentially for second place here. Now, if Begich gets second place over Palin, that's it. Palin loses the special election, and her supporters get reallocated. If you assume her supporters would overwhelmingly back Begich just because they're not going to back a Democrat, then Begich might be well positioned to win on the ranked choice round. The interesting scenario here is if Palin gets second instead of Begich. If you take a look at the polling, Palin's negative numbers in Alaska are very, very high. Would there be a slice of Begich voters who would not make Palin their second choice? And could that Palin-Peltola matchup, could Peltola actually win the ranked choice there? We won't know on the ranked choice for a couple weeks. It'll probably be the very end of this month or about September 1st when they actually do the ranked choice process on this. But what we will find out, probably not tonight, but in the next couple days, is whether it's Palin or Begich who finishes in that second place spot. And of course, as you say, this is the special election. All of these candidates are doing it all over again in a primary and a November runoff again starting today. And then you mentioned that Senate race as well. Honestly, not a ton of suspense tonight. This is about the prelude to Murkowski and Shabaka in November.